Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Into the Podcast. I'm your host Sam and I'm joined each and every week by the beautiful, baldy bastard Ryan. Hello Ryan.
Hello Sam. I actually prefer beardy baldy.
Sorry, beardy baldy. I see you're wearing a poncho again, sir.
Yes, and I noticed you're also wearing a poncho.
We are poncho boys.
Into the Poncho is our new name.
I'd probably say once a week, we rebrand this podcast into something.
Yeah.
And at the minute, we're into ponchos. I think once we've turned it into the poncho, aren't we doing into the Beyblades next? Because we're going to be big Beyblade guys.
Big Beyblades. Smith's Toys sell Beyblades.
£8 a pop, mate. 35 quid for the arena.
That's it. I was about to say that. 35 quid for the arena, and we're already all over that. It's Christmas coming up. We're going to buy each other Beyblades.
Can we please? Because I was actually thinking today, shit, I need to get you a present, and I can't think of what. So actually, Beyblades would be perfect. How are you though, mate? Is everything good?
Yeah, everything's good, thanks.
Good, mate. Got little notes. We've actually got a theme for this week. We've not just turned up to chat bollocks.
You know what? We've been pretty on it with the themes recently. Granted, we just missed last week and didn't do an episode at all. But
just
still,
didn't even address it.
No. But that's fine.
To be fair, so for the listeners, there was a family emergency, which meant we couldn't do it. And unfortunately, no matter what with this podcast, family comes first.
That's it. Family does come first.
You know, there's not many things that are more important than this podcast, but that is one, unfortunately, which is actually the theme of this week's episode, isn't it?
It is, yes.
So you are now Daddy Ryan. I've been Daddy Sam for quite a while, so we just thought we'd do a Daddy episode where we discuss all things Daddy in pop culture. And we're not,
so weird.
We're not talking about Pedro Pascal, although we can talk about Pedro Pascal. We're just talking about fathers in general.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of discussions. We're going to talk about, the worst dads in pop culture, the best dads. We're going to discuss us as dads and what we would like to see our children grow up to enjoy and the stuff we want to share with them. And then just kind of how fathers are portrayed, really, within pop culture.
There's a lot of stereotypes, isn't there?
A lot. So, don't get me wrong. It's not just dads. It's everyone. There's stereotypes for everyone. But becoming a dad, we thought this would just be a good episode for you because, especially at baby stage as well, the only thing you're ever allowed to talk about is babies and being a dad, isn't it?
Exactly.
Like, you have to stop video gaming with your friends and hanging out with your friends.
Yep.
And just sacking your friends off altogether, really.
Just not having friends. No friends.
Yeah. That child of yours is the bane of my life. I love River, but I've lost so many friends because of him.
I know, yeah. I know. I don't do anything anymore. Barely do this podcast.
So, a little catch up, mate. How are things? How are things in the world of dad?
Good. Things are good. I feel like at this stage, nothing's really happening, but everything's changing so quickly. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Which is a massive contradiction because he's still only tiny. He's 12 weeks old now, and he's still tiny. He's just a little squidge. He didn't really do anything.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of talking now. Getting a little bit more character.
Goo-gooing, isn't he?
Yeah, he's all cooey, which is very cute. But he's still very limited. He can't go anywhere. He can't do anything.
Can't drive yet or have a job.
Can't game with us.
No, he can't, which is really annoying. Especially with Black Ops 6 just coming out.
Yeah, I know. But then on the flip side, you look back and think a picture from a week ago, it looks so different.
Oh yeah. Just wait till when them teeth start coming through, mate, they just look like a whole different being.
Yeah, it is weird how much difference teeth make to a person.
Oh, big time. This time last year when I had my teeth, I looked different.
Yeah, that's true.
Before I lost 3 teeth just doing snack of the week with you.
Worth it. What a great sacrifice.
Oh, God, yeah. 100%.
Well, yeah, generally things are good. It's a weird one, innit, becoming a dad. Just generally, my life now, without sounding cheesy, is cheesy. It's lovely. It's like, your life is never filled with, more love and awe and just this whole wave of incredible emotions, but they are matched with the opposite emotions at the same time. So never more have I been so like scared and worried for this and anxiety driven by, for this baby, this whole being that didn't exist all that long ago. And then suddenly now it's like, oh my God, is he all right? Any little thing like, is he okay? Is this all right? Is this normal? Constantly catching it up. So it's weird, isn't it? It's just like, it's a whole wave of emotions and they're all unbelievably strong.
Oh yeah, and it just doesn't go away. I mean, your love for them stays just as strong. That fear, it's weird because once the fear of like at the minute it's the worry of are they going to catch him in because they're still very young, or am I holding him right, or blah blah blah. Whereas when they get older, it's just anything that could potentially go wrong in life, anything scary that could happen in life. You think about the effect that would have on a child, on a toddler, on a 6-year. Do you know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, this is how it is. Like, it's love, isn't it? I mean, love comes with every emotion going, and you will never have love like you do with your child.
Absolutely. And everyone says that to me. Everyone's like, no matter what age their kids are, I've had so many parents come to me and say, like, it never changes. You never stop, like you say, exactly, like loving your child or worrying about them. Like you said, whether they go to school and it's like, oh, are they going to make friends? That's what you're worried about and things like that until the first time they go out drinking or like go abroad on their own. And then suddenly, like, you've got kids that are like, oh, my kids are in their 30s and I'm still terrified every time they do something, like something daft.
Because think of it this way. Like my child, because she's older, could go abroad with her friends and go to have fun. And she could get taken. Now, I've got a particular set of skills, right?
Go on. What are these skills?
Editing podcasts.
Right. Yeah.
So I'd be fucked, mate, if she was taken. Yeah. Unless they trade it for a podcast editor.
That's it. Maybe that's
you give my child back.
To blackmail you, all you have to do is edit their podcast.
Sorted.
Maybe this could be some sort of film we could
It could make a banging film. We rewrote Speed the other day as well, didn't we? Whereas instead of it being a bus that can't come below 60, it was a Corsa with a chav in it that couldn't go over 40.
Oh, genius.
We honestly, I don't know why we're not in the film industry. We're fucking about in our stupid, boring jobs.
I know. Just sat in fucking our bedrooms wearing ponchos.
Which, again, is another joke, which is absolutely genius, that just went by the wayside 2 weeks ago. The fact that we sat there in ponchos the whole time and didn't mention it for an hour and a half. Well, we thought we were so funny, Ryan.
We are so funny. We are. We're hilarious. But the problem is, no one watches this.
No, I know. There's only Rich that does.
So, that's probably the main area that we're failing on.
Right, everyone go and subscribe on YouTube. Watch on YouTube, because there might just be some very funny jokes that you won't be able to see.
Yeah.
Because we are comical genius. Yeah, click the link here.
Down here.
But while you're down there, there's links to everything. Our Twitch, our Instagram, our Face Spaces, and all that lot.
Our MSNs.
Our MSN Messenger, and what was that other one? Where Tom was your number one friend on it. What was that? MySpace.
Yeah.
So do all that. Just get it over and done with, because I'm sick of asking now. It's getting boring. Oh, Discord. We have one of them and all that we don't talk in.
Yeah.
So
that's standard me. I don't talk in anything.
No, it's true. On anything ever. On this you do, though.
I have to.
Yeah, you do. I'll make you. So at the minute you're kind of going through bit by bit, you're going through like the very early milestones of having a child then. Yeah,
so it's always like I said, it changes very quickly. Like, you're hitting all those developmental milestones every like few weeks or every month or whatever, and it's weird, like I said, because it's nothing major, but suddenly, like, when he can just, I don't know, start making sounds, it's monumental, which I guess you take for granted, or like being able to. Oh no, he's at the stage now where he's noticing his hands, so he's like looking at his hands now, and then he just wants them in his mouth all the time, and it's just crazy that, he doesn't know what his hand is, and it's like all discovery and it's all new, and
he's just you and me after 10 beers, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Except he's got more hair than me.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it is incredible. I can see why people miss this stage because a lot of people say, "Oh, I miss them when they get older and they get bigger." I love them when they're like the little and cute and just you can just hold them and they have like the contact naps and stuff, which I get. And I think perhaps in the future I will miss this stage, but I'm also excited for all these other stages. I know we're going to talk about in a little bit about what we want to grow up and like be able to do with them and watch with them and stuff. But like, yeah, I'm excited for all the next steps. I think that's.
Yeah, it's a weird one because obviously I've been a single dad since very early on in my daughter's life, so I kind of, I don't know, I'm very much on the don't wish the time away because I didn't not get it. I've always been very amicable with my daughter's mum, and we are still friends, and we have we co-parent so brilliantly, which isn't that common these days, unfortunately. Sometimes. But, unfortunately, I've been a part-time dad, so to speak. I've not had all that time with her, and I didn't get to see her 7 days a week grow up, and I missed her first steps, and I missed, you know what I mean? I saw it all through videos and pictures that, my ex-partner was very good. She made sure she documented everything. So I'm a big believer in, like, don't wish it away. Like, this cool shit comes, and it comes way quicker than you think. Absolutely. I would love to go back and have that time with my little one and be there for all these firsts because every time imagine not seeing your little one for a week. It'd be like a different child when he come back.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's amazing how much changes in a week. Oh yeah, but it's hard to like quantify because it's lots of little things that you can't quite put your finger on. It's almost like. He looks different. His eyes are perhaps different, or his face is taking a bit more shape, or he's
learning new expressions.
And everything's just developing. It's all these little things, little changes that you don't really notice when you're in it, like day to day. But it's not until you look back, or like you said, someone will turn up that's perhaps not seen him for a week or two, and go, "Oh my God, he's changed so much." And we'll be like, really that much? Not that much. It's like. But it's anything like when you're in it, you're absorbed by it. It's hard to you don't notice them as much. But yeah, no, it's incredible. Absolutely loving it. It's just a shame that you have to do normal adult stuff as well. Like have a job.
Yeah, that's dog shit. But unfortunately, we put this podcast out to get famous, and it's not our fault we're not famous. We're hilarious.
We are hilarious.
It's because people aren't clicking the link down here.
Click the bell. I think there's a bell. This is what people say on YouTube. Click the bell.
Yeah, click the bell.
Get notifications. Subscribe and get the bell for notifications.
Although we're pushing this, aren't we stopping doing it online soon? Because we've got somewhere to record now.
Well, we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Maybe Ryan will get into video editing and start making little YouTube shorts.
That'd be good.
Yeah, it's not going to happen though, is it?
Might do. Never say never.
That's true. Never say never. So, that's very lovely. So, my dad catch up fits very perfectly into the next bit, which is what do you want to do with your child as they grow up, and the stuff as parents, being massive nerds like we are, the stuff that we get to enjoy with them. So this will slide quite nicely into that because I'm at this stage now. I am at this stage of the moment, and it's been quite soon, but quite recent, but the moment my daughter come through and went, Daddy, where can I watch Dragon Ball Z? I could have cried. Like, you have no... I mean, I got into Dragon Ball Z and anime as an adult. Yeah. I didn't watch that as a kid, so, like, it's still very fresh for me, and I'm still getting into the anime world and loving it. Like, I bought this chainsaw... She's never seen Chainsaw Man, but I bought this Chainsaw Man thing for my car, and she recognises it, and she knows what it is, and she's asking, can I watch that? No, sweetie, you can't watch that one.
Absolutely not.
Soon, maybe. The gaming, I literally got a message an hour ago from her mum saying, oh, Bobby says, do you want to play... Here we are. Do you want to play Fortnite with her mate Jed and Jed's dad?
Amazing.
How cool's that?
That's it. You made it now. If your kids are making friends and then you're making friends with their parents,
the dad. Although I've got to say, I did jump on to do this on Saturday because she said, oh, Jed's playing, do you want to play? And I was like, yeah, go on, I'll have one quick game with you. Jed's dad was there, took a phone call, just as we jumped out the bus. He was AFK, mate. He didn't jump with us, went to the end, got killed by the gas, didn't he? So if this is how you're going to make... I'm not making dad friends with someone like that. I can't.
No, you can't be having someone, affecting your win streak.
No, you can't. Yeah, I need them Crown Royales.
Yeah, you do.
Yep. So yeah, and And again, I'm very lucky that my daughter's mum is also very nerdy, and she's big into the 80s classics. So your Gremlins, your E.T.s, Goonies.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
she's introducing her to all of these films. So, you know, I've always been very much with her growing up, like, oh, do we want to watch My Little Pony or fucking Bluey, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, oh, are you still into Gabby's Dollhouse or whatever it is on Netflix? She's like, nah, can we watch Beetlejuice? I watched it like 3 times yesterday. I'm like, yes, mate, we can watch Beetlejuice.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course we can.
That's incredible. That is the right answer.
Yeah, it's always the right answer. So I've got this amazing child just molding into our ways, which is so cool. And the gaming and all this sort of stuff. She wants to get into streaming, which I've mentioned before. So I had to, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, we helped a friend move house on Sunday, so she stayed with mum and dad.
Unfortunately, definitely.
Yeah, well, it was unfortunate because fuck that guy. He said I did nothing. I gave up a day with my child to help him, and he said I did fuck all just because I did fuck all.
Yeah, shocking.
Bastard.
You were still there.
Mate, I was in the van. You bring it out to me, I Tetris it on the van because
Yeah.
I didn't trust you two. You two were not making very good Tetris choices. If it weren't for me, that would not have all fit in that van, I'm telling you now. I serve a purpose. You two are the muscles. I'm the fucking brains of this operation, player.
Okay.
So whilst we were doing that, she stayed with my mum and dad and apparently just spent all day streaming.
Streaming, yeah.
Not streaming, but streaming. So she just gamed all day, which is weird because that's what I used to do as a kid, and it's what I still do as a 36-year-old man now. Turn my laptop off, have something to eat, game. So I think that's really cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, just what was it she said to me? Oh, this was really cool as well. So she isn't into Warhammer or anything like this, but was sat watching Simpsons the other day together, and she goes, "Daddy," I suggest on. She goes, "Did you ever finish painting your war men?" And I went, "What?" She goes, "Your little war men." And I was like, "Oh, my Warhammer." Do you know these things that I never really realised she was paying attention to?
Yeah.
And like she just said it so blasé out of nowhere. Like, "Did you ever finish your war men by any chance?" I'm like,
they're just sponges, though, aren't they?
Of course they are.
Like, absolutely everything.
I was like, "Sweetheart, do you want to have a look? Should we sit down and have a look at all my war men together?"
That's cute.
But I mentioned it. I can't remember if I mentioned it on the podcast, but there's a new card game that's come out recently called Lorcana, which is very much, well, very similar to Magic the Gathering, which obviously we're big into. This Lorcana come out, but it's basically Disney's version of Magic the Gathering. It plays practically the same, just a few similarities, but with Disney characters. Now, this thing's come out and just taken over the board gaming world. Like, this is meant to be the greatest card game to ever hit the shelves. Better than Pokemon, better than bloody Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic. It's meant to be amazing. So I bought some decks, weirdly, to play with your wife. Because I saw it and I was like, I know Claire will love this. So if I buy 2 decks, me and her can play when I go around next. And so I noticed, I was in the shop the other day to have a look at just some Magic cards, and they've now brought out a box which is a simple way to learn it for younger people.
Right.
So I bought one for little and for a birthday, and a couple of decks as well, and some deck boxes and some sleeves. So this is my way into getting her into the card game type stuff as well. So we can, because I'd love to get her into Magic at some point, but it'd just be cool that she whips out a deck all lovely, double sleeved, and she's like, "Right, you're going against my Moana deck, bitch." Do you know what I mean?
That's cool. Quick question about Lorcana then.
Yeah.
Is it like just like Disney, as in like what I say is classic Disney? So like Moana, your Pixar's, that stuff, or does it incorporate anything that's under the Disney umbrella? So obviously like your Marvel, Star Wars, things like that.
I don't know whether it's your classics, so your Peter Pans, or Princess and the Frog, that type of stuff. They've got your more modern stuff. They've got the Wreck-It Ralphs and the Moanas and stuff. But whether they've obviously got a whole world to play off. But I know Magic the Gathering next year are doing a Marvel collab.
Are they?
Yeah, which is not what my bank needs when I'm trying to save.
No.
Because we're going to have to.
They tend to go more original, like, lore and stuff as well, don't they? So, like, for Lord of the Rings, they didn't do... It's not like film version Lord of the Rings, it's book version, so their own artwork and stuff. So I imagine they'll do the same for Marvel. I imagine it'll be, like, comic books as opposed to MCU.
I'm assuming so, yeah.
Which is cool.
Which is mega cool. So yeah, there's
Yeah.
just more money we're going to have to spunk in it.
Well, we haven't spent money on Magic cards for a while, so it comes full circle, doesn't it?
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
I have.
You have.
When you was buying Warhammer 40k, which I refused to buy, I was buying Magic cards.
Why? Mine's still looking great in its box. Just over there.
Still wrapped up. Yeah, of course.
I took the shrink wrap off. I opened the box, saw that it was about 1 million pieces, closed the box, and put it down.
I went, I'm a dad now. I can't do this.
I ain't got time for that. That's the beauty, right? This is why Magic or card games are the best hobby, because you can just open them and they're ready to play.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You don't have to do everything with them. You don't have to assemble them. You don't have to paint them. You don't have to do any of that bullshit. You can just pick them out and play. Although, I haven't played Magic for probably about a year because I'm sulking, because last time I played, I had my fancy vampire deck, which was... I spent quite a lot of money on that one. That's my OG deck that's been fully pimped out, double-sleeved, everything. And when we were playing, Claire accidentally knocked a full bottle of Prosecco all over them.
Oh.
So that's probably like a £300 deck. Maybe more. That's just like a sticky Prosecco mess.
Just in your head going, divorce is more expensive. Divorce is more expensive.
Pretty much. I was just so since then I was like, fuck it, I've lost all love for Magic because they're just sat in a box now. And
Fuck's sake, Claire, why aren't you ruining everything for me?
I can't bring myself to face it. You know what I mean? Because I had them all. This should be fine. I'm pretty sure they're fine because they were double sleeved, but like all the sleeves are wrecked. So the cards themselves should be fine. I'm hoping. I did try and check them at the time, but you know when you're just like. It's just it was my any other deck. I wouldn't have been bothered. But that deck,
like I say, it's not like it was a pre-bought one. It was one you bought and then bought all the, edition cards and worked on it. Whereas at any of your standard commanders, it's 50 quid. And it's fuck's sake. Like, you built it, you owe me 50 quid. You go buy me the deck again. Yeah.
And it was all over my mat as well. I had a play mat, everything just all ruined. So that the play mat's in the bin, the sleeves are in the bin. You're just like. Oh. That was all beautiful and pimped out, and I loved it. And it was a nice little box, and so
that's the one good thing I'm looking forward to with Bobby is getting because especially with Lorcana, they do really cool play mats and shit. So I'm really looking forward to being so for now I've just bought a cheap ass sleeves, cheap ass £2 deck boxes. So because I'm like, I know what's going to happen. She's not going to like it, and then they're just going to be mine, which is fine. Which was kind of the plan. But you don't like them, they're mine, aren't they? But, if she does get into it, she does really like it, I can go and get some Lorcana ones with the characters on the boxes and the nice, expensive play mats and the cards and really do it up so she looks after these things and enjoys doing them. And we can go and pull cards together and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, as a kid, I don't know about you, did you collect Pokemon cards? Did you pull Pokemon cards?
I had the Pokemon cards as a kid, but I never played it. I don't think anyone played it. Everyone just collected it.
I played it a few times. That's one thing I'd actually quite like, a game of Pokemon cards, because
I've never played it.
They've just brought out a Pokemon card game on your mobile phone, and it's incredible.
Nice.
I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And you play Pokemon on that, when you're like, fuck, this is really good. I really want to play this. I don't know how it stands up to the actual game and stuff, but it'd be quite nice to. But the problem is Pokemon cards. I don't know if you can just buy pre-built decks and play.
No idea.
So I don't know, but same thing as a kid. I used to collect Pokemon cards, and it was just cool to collect them and open the box. Open the packs. What did I get?
Yeah.
We all wanted Charizard. We wanted the big names. Whereas for Bobby, it might be, oh my god, I've got a shiny Moana or I've got a shiny Wreck-It Ralph. Like watching the excitement when she gets them. I'm really looking forward to that. Just, you've been good. I'll just get you a pack.
Yeah.
Which is going to be really sweet. What's the sort of things that you are looking forward to doing?
Obviously, I think it's nothing that surprising. Obviously, the gaming, that's always gonna be cool. Like my nephew now, he started playing Minecraft, so doing that with Ed and stuff. That's really cool. Even I saw him at the weekend, and he's now at an age where he just wants to chat about Minecraft. Obviously, I love Minecraft.
Oh yeah, you know what you're talking about, yeah.
So. That's just really cool now. It's like, oh my god, you can actually have this conversation. It doesn't seem like 2 minutes ago he's a little baby and a little kid.
Mad, isn't it?
And then suddenly he's just like, can figure it all out on his own. You know, he's still only bloody like 4, and he can just turn on the Xbox, put himself on Minecraft, and then just do all these incredible things. And it's
They
just
know
like,
about servers and stuff, and you're like, what?
yeah,
the
like
fuck?
just jumping in worlds, and it's like, oh, like just having those conversations is really cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. All the gaming, and that'll go through different stages as well. So you probably start off on your things like your Minecrafts that everyone plays, then it'll probably build up to like, I don't know, things like Fortnite, which is a combat game, but it's more childlike, isn't it? It's
Don't need to tell me, mate. It's my new obsession is Fortnite.
yeah, I know, but you
It's
know what I
all
mean.
I play.
It's like a bit more family friendly one
Kid
compared
friendly.
to like COD. It's a kid friendly one.
The
And
fucking
then
money through that as well, especially for
Oh.
kids. A new skin comes, like
yeah,
recently, Nightmare Before Christmas, Bobby's favourite film. So I
Yeah.
had to buy the Jack and Sally costume, 20 quid for that, with the things and the emotes and
exactly.
the
It's a money
fuckers,
spinner,
man.
and they get all the licensing as well. They get
Oh
all the
god,
good
yeah.
licensing in Fortnite. Everyone's on there. Every skin, every pop culture thing is incredible. Can't believe I'm gonna have to download Fortnite after this.
You're so playing with me. You're gonna love it.
I know. But yeah, then and that obviously progress into things like your COD and stuff, FIFA and whatever. Like, that'd be cool. But then also just generally introduce them to like all the pop culture stuff that I love. Obviously, for me, Lord of the Rings is number one. So being able to sit and watch that with him for the first time, you know, when he's like, I'll do it when he's that right age where he can take it in, because it's a lot. Like it's not like a kiddie film, is it? Really?
Yeah.
You know, Star Wars, you know, all these big ones. And again, they all change, like, all these, like, I was chatting to you the other day, I was saying, like, oh, let's try and create our favourite films of all time list. You know, like, on IMDb, it has, like, a top 250 films of all time. It'd be nice to do that for our own personal one. So I started writing my own. And it's amazing how many films you look at and you go, oh, I fucking love that. So just,
Yeah.
in a way, just working my way through that list, that would be so cool.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
But I'm a big music person as well. I love my music. Like, music's always on in our house.
Yeah.
You know, if we're singing to him, like if he's on the changing mat, it's not bloody nursery rhymes that I put on. It'll be anything that I'm listening to at the time, and that can go from absolutely anything, like your more mainstream stuff to like folk, rock, alternative, indie, whatever that, you know, because I love an eclectic mix. So a bit like you've had with Bobby, you know, where she's like singing things like Ren and stuff, and like, yeah, that's just so cool.
And they pick that up way before they pick anything else up as well.
Yeah,
Like, they're
yeah.
always going to get into the kiddier stuff when it comes to like TV, because you're going to introduce it to them at an earlier age. But music, that was the first thing where I was like, oh my god, she's me. When she's like asking me, what is this song? And, you know, when I went through my country stage, I was playing a lot of country, and she was going, oh, can you play this song, Daddy? And I've never heard it. I'm like, where do you know this from? She goes, oh, Nanny plays it. So her mum's mum. But then she'd go to her nanny's house and she'd put on a song that I've shown her, and her nanny would be like, oh, you've heard this? She's like, oh, Daddy played me it. And so she, you know, like, they picked that up so early, and they just learn to love.
And that stays with you forever. Like, I remember it as a kid, like in my household, like we always had music on. Like, I remember like every like Sunday, like my mum and dad would stick on like the same sort of CDs, and always be like the best of Crowded House, or like Enya, or like, you know, we always used to play like the Cranberries and like all sorts of stuff. And like, you know, I love all those bands now, you know, and that stays with you, as well as what you're introduced to, like film wise and pop culture wise. You know, we were always a big film household, so there's no wonder I love films, because that was what was introduced to me as a kid. So yeah, I'm excited to do all that as well. As well as, like, obviously all the standard stuff that everyone's going to do, like, it'd be like the sports, the after school clubs, whatever form or shape they may take. But it's those personal connections, isn't it? Like,
of course,
personal interests, like, oh, these are my favorite films of all time, and you know.
And that's the sort of thing I'm more thinking of anyway. Not that, you know, it's going to be great when, you know, she's tried piano. It's going to be great when I teach her to play the guitar and all that sort of stuff. But it's more this is what I grew up with. This is what I love, and this is something we can do together.
And you impart that, don't you? Like you said earlier, I never grew up on like the 80s classics. I've never seen Goonies. I saw Gremlins as an adult. You know, I don't even think I've seen E.T. all the way through.
Wow.
You know, these are like absolute staples. But if they weren't in your household,
No, true.
you didn't watch them. You know, people of our generation, it was whatever videos you had in the house. It was either VHS or something that your parents had like recorded off the telly. That was it. That was it. So if you didn't grow up on that, you know, there'd be certain films that I'm not fussed out on. So I suppose it's different now though, because everything's on like streaming sites, so anyone can access them at all time. But like, there'll be films like that. It'd almost be like generational. I didn't grow up with the Goonies or E.T., so I've never had a copy of them.
Yeah, of course.
So like then like my kid's not going to grow up watching that if they want in my house. But it's different now with streaming sites and stuff, and everything's easily accessible.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
it's very different, but yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. I was going to go with what the stuff that we don't want them to do, but really, other than crack, and anything else is fine. Just don't do crack. Crack's bad.
Just no crack. Crack's bad.
Yeah, crack is bad. Should we? We're half hour in. Should we have a little snack?
Yeah, let's have a little snack.
Just get the little flavours in our mouths, and then we'll get back to the daddy talk.
Let's do it.
Now, just how do we do this again? Aren't we supposed to call someone up and get them to do something or something?
Yeah, I think we ring someone. We have to phone a friend.
Okay, can you give him a quick call for me then?
I don't have his number.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Just shout him.
What was his name?
Drewski?
Rooski!
Drew, sing us in, baby.
Here come Sam and Ryan, listen to them both speak. They've come through hours all with their pop culture critique. But are you even a nerd if you don't overread? So come on everybody, it's the snack of the week.
And that was Drew Flanagan of Drew Flanagan Music. Ryan, where can we hear more Drew Flanagan music?
Well, anyway, that you listen to your music, your Spotify's, your Amazon Music's, your Apple Music's. That's probably most of the streaming ones.
Probably most of them.
I don't know any others.
The YouTube's his face is on that one. You know, like you can watch our face doing really funny stuff like wearing ponchos. You can watch Drew do really funny things.
Exactly. He's got the talking pictures on there.
Link down below.
Yeah, click below.
And then when you join the Discord, there is a whole separate little room for just Drew Flanagan music, where we can share our favourite things about Drew Flanagan music and the videos and the songs and stuff.
Exactly. But if I want to keep up to date with Drew, how do I do that?
I don't know, maybe the Facebooks and the Instagrams and the X's and the other stuff like that.
Is he on all of those things?
Yes. Think so.
Nailed it.
He is on them things. Drew Flanagan Music, to be precise.
He's got a new album coming out soon.
He has got a new album coming out, which is very exciting. Very looking forward to hearing it. And very looking forward to seeing Drew as well. We should be seeing him this week, which is very exciting.
He is. I saw him at the weekend. It was lovely. And we went to a gig, but I'm going to save that because that's a whole other chat.
That's a big chat, and we got a lot of daddy stuff to talk about.
Too right.
So, let's get into the snicky snacky snooze. I want you to go first because you're excited about your snack. And you said you've got a really good snack. I'm really excited about my snack. I've got a really terrible snack.
Okay.
So let's go with yours first.
My snack, it's a pretty standard snack. It's nothing overly special, but it's got a slight twist on it that most people don't go for. And I mentioned this to you yesterday, so any guesses what I've gone for?
Ooh. Sausage roll.
No, but you'd buy it in the same sort of place. In a bakery.
Steak bake.
No.
Donut. Custard donut. It's a custard donut.
It is a custard donut, yes.
Yes!
I've got Co-op bakery.
Nice.
Just standard, donuts. But the difference is the filling is custard.
I love a custard donut.
Not many people go for a custard donut, I don't think. Everyone goes for the jam. And jam is a staple. Jam is a classic. But custard should not be overlooked any longer.
Morrison's normally do the good flavoured donuts. They do like a chocolate orange one and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the custard is a banger. I love a custard donut.
Yeah, it's just great. And it's one of them that's been around forever. So people must be buying it. Because they wouldn't keep making custard donuts.
No, you're right. Get one out, get it in your face.
The good thing as well is, I already know I like this snack, and there's 4 donuts in here, so...
That's 4 for you to eat whilst we're talking.
Exactly.
I'm excited to see you do it. In a wanna.
If you look at it, for the people that are looking at our faces on the YouTube, just a standard donut.
It's a good sized donut, to be fair.
Yeah, look, it's the same size as my head.
Literally.
Look at all these classic jokes you're missing out on if you're not watching us.
I'm out of drink.
But, this is... To look at it, you could think jam was in it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now thinking, I bet it's got jam in it. Take a bite.
I'll be very disappointed if it is. So, when you bite into a donut...
Yeah.
Do you go, like a donut like this, where it's a whole donut, do you go for where the little hole is, where you know the filling's going to be, or do you... Because the risk is that you can bite into it and the filling shoots out of that.
Think about it, Ryan. That hole is where, bearing in mind I used to be a baker, mate, I used to make these bad boys.
It's where the filling was put in.
It's where the nozzle goes, but it doesn't just tip and then fill, it goes in. So where's that jam going to be, or the custard?
Yeah, it's going to be the other end.
It's going to be at the back, innit?
Yeah.
Got to think about these things.
So where would you... Yeah, but where would you bite into?
I'd bite at the back.
So you're going for the filling first?
I'm going filling for... Oh, God, yeah. If the first bite of a donut isn't full of the stuff I'm there for, I'm okay ending on just the dough. I don't want to start on just the dough.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It depends how you look at it, because you could say saving the best for last then.
Normally I would, but I'm there for a reason.
Yeah. I'm going to bite at the whole end.
Well, let's see.
Very dry.
Do you have a drink?
There's no filling.
No. The filling's right there, though. I can see it.
I know, right. Look at that.
But the problem is, though, you've now made a bit where you've got to eat around the side before... Unless, get in that hole, get in that crescent, and just bite again.
Eat down the side, like you said.
Look at that custard coming out of that.
That's good, that, isn't it?
We went for very different snacks, mate. Oh, God. Just get it in.
Just a plain dough's just tasty, though.
Lick it. Lick that bit in the middle. Go on. There it is. Oh, look at that. Oh, that was disgusting in every single way. Don't watch it. Any audio listeners, don't watch it. That was gross.
Custard.
It looks great. So tasty. Where's it going on the triangle?
Mate, it's top tier.
It's a top tier. It is a top tier donut.
Top tier. It's just a standard donut with custard. It's top tier.
No, I'm with you, mate. You haven't got to sell it to me. The only problem is you got to buy them and eat them there and then. You go to a donut the day after you buy it, it's too hard. You need that soft dough, mate.
I know.
Because they soon drop tiers when they're hard.
I agree. I think day 1, top tier. Day 2, you can just about get away with it. Probably go middle.
It'd be middle,
Okay.
yeah. It wouldn't be love that. It'd be middle.
It'd be middle. And then after that, it's just get in the bin.
Literally in the bin. You can't eat a donut if it's more than a day out.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I can't eat 4 in one go.
No.
I'll have to have 2 tonight and 2 tomorrow, probably.
2 for breakfast.
Yeah.
You can have donuts as burger buns now. You had one of them yet?
I have not.
They're good, mate. Iced ring donut as the bun, and then the burger in the middle. Hot. That's why I'm well fat.
Worth it.
Well worth it.
I've got to lick the sugar off my fingers.
Right, you lick that while I introduce our snack. So you went to the co-op and bought some very lovely stuff. Now, I went in the other day to go buy something. I'm looking at the chocolate. I'm looking at the sweets. Then I thought, we always do that. I'm going to go around to the fridge. Now, the shop I was in, mate, we ain't talking to Sainsbury's or a co-op. I'm in the local bargain booze. Okay. I was in there to buy pint cans of Hobgoblin Gold. And I thought I'd get a snack while I'm there. So as you can imagine, the fresh food is not going to be top tier. Then I saw these. I see these in every shitty local corner shop, you know, your Happy Shoppers or your petrol stations that haven't really got a name. But the reason why I picked these is because there's a guy I used to work with who used to bring a thing of them every day to work for lunch, and he swore by them. And what they are is delicatessen, fine eating meatballs.
Oh God, no!
It's just a packet of meatballs that you can eat hot or cold. These are the hot and spicy variety. I could have gone for plain or I could have gone for tikka, but I went for the hot and spicy.
Okay, I'm worried for you already.
Yep, me too. But so these are a product of Germany, so we know they're going to be good. Thomas made these. Yeah, so I'm actually very, very, very excited about this. Normally,
I'm excited to watch.
Because I wouldn't, but because this guy I work with swore by them, they were only £1 for like, I don't know, there's like 15 things in here. And the fact that he had them every day and was like, these are insane. I'm hoping they're like, you know them little chicken satays you can get with your meal deal at Tesco?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And they just come on a stick, you dip them in your hot, sweet chili sauce and eat them. I'm hoping they're just a meatball version of that and they're banging. Smell test. Sweaty meat.
They look sweaty.
Visual. Sweaty meat.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
Texture. Sweaty meat. So this is a hot and spicy meatball from my local booze shop.
Oh God. They look dry.
Not that bad. Sweaty.
Sweaty. Ah, yes.
They're alright, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah. I could see myself eating way more of these. These would go banging on just a little Boxing Day, your Boxing Day meal where you just have all the leftovers on a little buffet.
Yeah.
These would be brilliant on them.
Perfect. Probably go really well with a beer as well.
You know what? If I had a beer now... Oh, yeah.
Probably why I sell them in the boozer.
There's a kick.
Yeah.
Not the most amount of flavour, which I'm a little bit disappointed for.
Shame.
There's still flavour there. I'm putting that in tier 2, you know. I'm putting that in love that.
Wow, okay.
These are going to be a staple of my...
meat gets to tier 2.
Yeah, these are literally going to be a staple of my fridge from now on. Because I'm a pack-up guy.
Yeah.
Well, normally when I come to your work, we've got quite a good staff mess, so I can just go and pay a couple of quid and have a full meal.
Exactly.
But if I go anywhere else to work, I always take a pack-up with me. Mate, with my sandwich and my crisp, a little tub with a few of these meatballs in just to snack on. Telling you now.
Perfect.
These are a staple. Well done, Sweaty Meat Company. You win again. They were well better than the kebab I had last week. That made me extremely poorly.
Yeah, I can imagine why.
And that's also Sweaty Meat. Yeah. There you go, everyone. We got Sweaty Meat hitting it. Love that on the tier list. And the humble custard donut that's been around for decades, sitting there at top tier. Are you all right there, Ryan?
Sorry, I've just got to discipline my cat because he's just, you know what Milo's like.
Oh, I know what he's like. He's a shithead.
He's a little bastard. He's currently destroying everything.
This is what you get for allowing them to take over my room. Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you would have kept him out of there and kept it as my room, we wouldn't have these problems, would we? And you'd still have headphones.
I know. They were brand new.
They were brand new, but they're only 15 quid. Buy some more. You're not that poor.
You can chew through them as well.
Yeah,
shit.
To be fair. Right, okay, so we're going to move on. We haven't got the most amount of time left. So, I thought, before we go into the best and the worst dads in pop culture, I thought we'd just have a quick chat around what is the stereotypes of dads in pop culture, in your films, in your TV shows, stuff like that. When you see something that is based around a family, what is the dad going to be?
Yeah, I feel like there's lots of these stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
I was making notes just before we started recording, and I managed to break down into quite a lot of different stereotypes, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 that I just came up with.
Let's hear them, because there's only one that I was really going to talk about, and that was the big one.
The big one, well, I've put in the category, which I'm going to guess you're going to go for, of the sort of abusive / neglectful dad. And by that, I mean your stereotypes of like your Homer Simpsons, your Peter Griffins, that sort of your stereotypical like American dad that's just more concerned about beer and doing what he wants to do. His life is a priority, and the kids are kind of a burden.
Yes,
He's living in suburbia. He's got his wife, but he's not really that fussed.
Who is always the stay-at-home mum, never normally has a job in these things. He goes to work, comes back, and it's always there. I want to have a few beers after I finish work. Kids go away, does bad things to the kids, but there's always a redemption story. So we look at people like Homer Simpson and people like that and go, oh yeah, good dads. They're not. They're shit dads. They just have a redemption story every now and then, where once every 5 episodes they do something good for their kids. And I'm being honest, if once every 5 times I saw my kid I did something nice for him, people would be reporting me.
Yeah, that's it.
But it's funny to watch.
That's it. And like, I feel like it always comes across as like they're actually good at heart. Like, Homer has some lovely episodes, like really touching moments where he's actually cares about his kids. The big one that for me that jumps out is the one where, I don't know if you can remember the episode, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one where he hates working in the power plant, and which is in most episodes, but he hates it, but he sort of does it for his, he's doing it for the kids, and it's that shot at the end, it's the collage, isn't it? It's Mr. Burns puts something up there, doesn't he, the writing, and it's something like, "You'll never leave this place," or something like that. I'm doing a real disservice. And then he gets all the pictures of Maggie and cuts it around and then changes the wording, and then it sort of says like, "Do it for her." And it ends on that. So it's the idea of that, he's has to endure this shit job because it pays the bills and it puts food on the table for his 3 kids. And so there is a lot of touching moments, but then that's how it gets away with the let's choke Bart Simpson out every episode. Yeah. Or let's just, why you little... And it's like chasing around the house and like the kids are annoying and the dad's a bit of a joke to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bart sees dad, like Homer as like a joke. Lisa just wants more of a dad that's interested in what she's interested in and wants a bit more of a supportive dad. And I feel like Family Guy obviously is majorly ripped off The Simpsons, but took it in a slightly different way. But I feel like the dynamic's probably quite similar on that. Peter's like a bit of an idiot. He's a drinker. He's not as abusive with
He's
the
also
kids.
fat.
He's also fat. But again, it's all about him, isn't it? He's very selfish. Yeah. It's all about him first. The family are an inconvenience.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like that's a massive stereotype, and I feel like, I don't know, I'll just try to jot a few names down in each bracket, and that was like a stereotypical one, but then there's also loads in like, I was just trying to think of some of like my favourite films, but you've got one like, the other one there, much more serious, not a lot darker, but like Jack from The Shining, who's like, again, you get the impression that like, especially if you read the book, he's got like Danny, but Danny's kind of an inconvenience, and his wife kind of does his head in. He just wants to do his own thing. He's an alcoholic. He wants to drink. He's abused Danny in the past, and it's that worry that he's actually going to kill the kids. And that's a proper darker version, but it's on the same sort of spectrum or on the same level as like your Homers or your Peters. That sort of like neglectful dad, and that's one of like the biggest horror films of all time. And it's like a hugely major figure in pop culture. To that extreme, it's that he's like the extreme version of your Homers who joke about like choking his kids out, and that one, it's like, all work and no play, make Jack a dull boy, and then he literally goes after his kid with an axe.
I mean, going down the same lines, a film that I've never mentioned before in podcast history, but The Babadook. The exact same thing. I mean, the whole story is a complete underline of a mother who is not coping being a single mother. The kid is annoying as shit. The whole way through it, you kind of are like, oh, God, if that was mine.
Oh, no,
do you know what I mean? And it's shot so well. But the same sort of thing, that, she's possessed by the Babadook, but actually it's a lot more psychological of how she's not coping with it. And they do such a good job of making us feel that way. I've gone like, shut the fuck up to that kid, but she acts upon it. Like, and that's the scary part, isn't it? Like, because when it's, you can see it snapping at you, you're like, oh, I get it, I get why they're snapping, but then it's like, oh shit, when it goes to that level, then you start fearing for the child, and the child become, you know, like, and we've all been there, you know, I definitely have. I've been to the point where I'm like, shh, just be quiet, Bobby.
Yeah,
just chill for 2 minutes, mate, please, my head. But I've never chased her with an axe.
Yeah, that's it. So, you know, we're already doing better than a lot of these very
better
famous
than Jack Torrance.
pop culture dads.
Yeah.
That are like absolutely, you know, massively renowned. Like Homer Simpson, I would say, is probably arguably the biggest dad in pop culture.
Oh,
you
easy,
know, there's
yeah.
not many that you could rival at that level of fame that's really centered around family life.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've been on talking for a while, so I'll go on to a different stereotype, shall I?
Yeah, go.
I'll put another massive one, which is a very common theme. And it's not a great one for dads, but it's the absent father. If you look in most pop culture, dad's either just not in the picture or dead.
Yeah. Yeah,
And you
dead
think
dad.
Dead dads is massive.
You
think most superheroes, Batman, Superman, not Superman, he has a stepdad, Spider-Man, you know, Star Wars, the absent father, Vader, you know, Luke and Leia grow up without a dad. Well, okay, Leia has a stepdad, but you know, it's all about that absent dad.
Yeah.
Darth Vader, he just fucked off, didn't he? He'd rather be on the dark side than raise his 2 kids.
Oh, yeah.
Even in Lord of the Rings, there are not many dads in Lord of the Rings. Like, none of them really like Frodo's dad's dead. You know,
do you
he lives
think
with his uncle?
do
Like,
you think this is written in for in a way, a kind of a reason why a character can be a certain way? Because they've not had that male input in their life, or the tragedy or the trauma of the father dying, or the father leaving would be the trust of a male. Like, I get, and obviously all this stuff is 100% true with people, that it writes in well for a character because of that trauma that actually so many people go through, and like the horrific things that have the parents have passed, or the dad did go get milk and never come back. You know, that stereotype, like. Yeah. That trauma fits well into a character to explain certain things in a certain story path.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and it's that missing link for a lot of these characters. That's that driving force behind the reason they act the way they do, or they go on a quest, or they're looking they're searching for something that's missing, or it's driving their behavior, isn't it? You know, Batman being the perfect one. His parents were murdered, his dad was killed, so he's all about justice and getting vengeance. You know. Luke Skywalker, something missing. If all these characters had like a father figure and had a happy family nucleus, they probably wouldn't ever want to leave the family. They'd be happy the life that they've got, like just bloody farming or doing normal jobs or whatever. It's that, like you said, it's the change in the father figure. Even like Spider-Man, another one I mentioned, like, okay, his dad's dead, but then Uncle Ben's like his father and his father figure, and then once he's murdered, that's it. It sort of drives him to really become the Spider-Man that we know.
Okay, question.
Go on.
If your child had the opportunity to do such amazing things in this world, become a superhero...
If I'm dead?
Would you allow yourself to be murdered? But knowing he's going to grow up to be the next Spider-Man or the next Batman.
Probably not.
Now I'm going to say no.
Because not if you asked any of these characters, if you asked Batman or Spider-Man, would you give up your powers to have your dad back? How many of them would say yes?
It's not about them, is it? That's not what I asked.
So yeah, I think that's another massive one. But again, I know why, because there's not a lot of things in pop culture that cover a normal family. It's all about extreme characters or fringe characters, or some reason why these characters act the way they do. Another stereotype I've got is the protective dad, the one that will stop at nothing to look after their child.
Yeah.
You know, dads that have particular sets of skills.
There's that.
You know, and again, that comes into, there's loads of them. Taken, obviously, the one we've been referencing. Commando, you know,
Yeah.
Arnie will go and kill like 1,000 people to go get his daughter back, and do like at least 20 fantastic one-liners along the way.
Oh yeah,
So,
and then not so much of an extreme, but like look at like Bad Boys. You know that bit where Martin Lawrence and Will Smith are talking to Reggie at the door. Like, who the fuck,
Yeah.
Reggie? Motherfucker, look about 40. You know, like he pulls the gun out on him and shit. Like that protective stance of a boy comes to the door. What do you do?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you get that as well. Like, that's it. You'll see that a lot. Like any sort of like cop drama, like even like Lethal Weapon, like Danny Glover. He's got like all the kids. He's like protecting his daughter. Same sort of, very similar sort of things. Even in like Terminator 2, Arnie becomes like this Terminator becomes the dad that he never had.
Yeah.
So obviously Kyle Reese dies beforehand, before he's even born. And that's a whole interesting relationship. And they even allude to that. And like Sarah Connor says, you know, of all like the would-be fathers that came and went in his life, this fucking Terminator, who's a machine, is the best father figure he's ever had, because he'll never lose his temper. He'll never walk out on him. He'll never shout at him. He'll never let him down. He'll always be there. And I guess it's mad because like, and that's a realization. That's some of the genius of that film and the writing and storytelling. It's like the idea that everything she's trying to stop these machines, but in reality, this machine is probably a better father than any human dad could be. And you know, it's really interesting.
And this is why Skynet was right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, fuck the humans. So there you go. There's another question. If you could have, if Bobby could have her own Terminator,
Yeah.
look after her, be a father figure, would you get blown up fighting another Terminator?
Ooh. Yes.
Of course you would.
Of course I would. Can we put part of my brain in the Terminator, please?
Nope.
Nah, fuck. Yeah, why not? I'm tired, mate. I'm so tired that if I could just sleep forever, it'd be great.
Not getting tired. Terminator will do whatever she wants.
And I'll be honest, you know what? Yesterday, if you'd have asked me that question, I would have said no. But the school run this morning was that bad. The car was a block of ice. The traffic was horrendous. Like, if I could get blown up in a Terminator, I had to do that school run every Monday. Fucking, I'm in.
Yeah. Well,
What else you got?
My other ones are not as fleshed out. I've got like the sort of ones where I feel like the dad again is the sort of driving force, but this one's perhaps a bit more negative, where the dad's like really like driven, like forcing the child, like, you will become this.
Yeah.
You know, you will go to college and get a law degree type thing, which I think you see in a lot of like your sort of teen films.
Yeah.
I can't think of any that come to mind though.
American Pie. His dad's forcing him to not fucking apple pie, when all he wants to do is shag an apple pie.
You know what? He's a great dad.
He's a great dad, and he's on my list. I'm sure. He definitely was on my list anyway.
Yeah, he is a great dad.
Yes, he is on my list.
What about the dad from Jumanji? He's the one. He forces him. He's got to go do this, whatever, work in a shoe factory, but he don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dad becomes the hunter in the Jumanji board game, and then it's all saved at the end, and he hugs his dad, and it's lovely.
It happens in a lot of rom-com films as well, where like, I don't know, the daughter or the son, they're doing their law degree. In fact, I watched one recently. Couldn't tell you what it was called. It was fucking dog shit. But like, they've quit school because they don't want to do it. They want to open the bakery or they want to sing. But then there's this big reveal. Someone lets it slip to the parents that she's not doing it anymore, and they go a bit mad, and then they all get back together at the end, and they're like, "Oh, we just want the best for you," and yeah, but you should want me to do what I want to do, you know, that type of thing, and then they all hug and go, "Of course,
yeah,
fuck off."
exactly.
Yeah, that type of parent.
That type, yeah. And I think different genres of film lend itself to each sort of father figure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And then the other one I just put in like your stereotypical good, loving father figure, which is probably the one you see the least.
It is the one you see the least because it doesn't write well.
Yeah, that's it. It doesn't lend itself to good characters in the sense of drama.
Yeah.
It doesn't lend itself to like we said, a character with a driving force. If they've got a good dad and a good mum, everything's fine. But most of the time, the parents are dead. Harry Potter, another one. Dad's dead. The whole time they're looking for father figures in elsewhere, and they always turn up in forms of like let's look at Harry Potter, like teachers or family friends or his godfather. Like all these things like pseudo fathers.
Absolutely, yeah. But it's a weird one because so as most people would, I see myself as a good dad, and I've not had the conventional fatherhood with my child coming from, my daughter's from a broken home, me and her mum aren't together.
Yeah.
But we co-parent brilliantly, and she's never wanted anything. We've brought her up right. She's respectful. She's sweet. She's charming. She's everything you can ask for. They ain't writing a film about me, mate. Because what have I got? Because then I go to work 9 to 5 in the day, and then I play a bit of games in the evening, do a podcast with you, and then I'll pick her up on a Friday, drop her back off at school on a Monday.
Yeah,
there's no story there. There's no real trauma.
Exactly. I think the sort of times you'll see a bit more of your normal dads are in things that are a bit more closer to reality. So like your rom-coms, they're set in a realistic setting, aren't they? Okay, they're cheesy and a little bit over the top. American Pie, teen dramas, they're like just about teen angst and things that all teenagers go through. So the dads are going to be there and are going to be involved. It's not like it's a fantasy film or a superhero film where the missing dad is sort of one of the key aspects of that character and that character's development. So that's why I think we said them right at the start, but like your Simpsons or your Family Guys, because they're actually about a real family. Like they're all fictitious and stuff, but yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, we're so we're an hour in. Why don't we quick fire our best and worst dads of what we've got? I've got 5 of each, and then we'll call it.
You lead because I've been going through my things, and I'll just bounce off what you said.
Yeah, sounds. So, do you want best or worst first?
Let's go with worst, and we'll end on best.
Okay, so we have mentioned a few of these straight away. So obviously, I've got Jack Torrance in there.
Of course.
Wouldn't want my dad to be Jack Torrance.
No, I don't want to be axed to death.
No, and also, even if I survived that, I wouldn't want to see my dad frozen to death outside with a weird face.
No, not the best.
Darth Vader, I've obviously got in there. Redemption story, yes. But
still chopped his son's hand off.
Still chopped his son's hand off and tried to take over a galaxy and blew up planets.
Yeah, bit dark.
Bit dark for me. Don't like it. Ego. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
What a
dick.
shit dad.
What an absolute dick.
He's just killing motherfuckers left, right and centre, isn't he?
Yeah, and killing the mums.
Killing the mums.
Getting the mums pregnant. Abandoning... No, does it... I can't remember what he does with the kids.
Just fucks him off, doesn't he? And then he tries to get one to help him rule the universe, I guess.
Well, I don't know.
Can't remember. That film was not great.
It was not. And it's a shame because I fucking love Kurt Russell.
Oh, I love Kurt Russell, but I prefer him when he's playing Santa.
Yes.
In the Christmas Chronicles 1 and 2.
Yeah, they are great films. I hope they do another one.
They are great. The next one, probably not your wheelhouse, Goku. Dragon Ball Z.
I've seen it.
The worst dad on the face of the earth. He has a son.
Tell me why. Yeah.
He has a son who is basically the hardest motherfuckers that are trying to literally destroy planets. He'll be like, yeah, go on then, go fight him. Because he just wants him to be strong.
Yeah.
He's literally fighting a guy called Cell, who they're like, this motherfucker is going to destroy us. He's going to destroy the world. We're scared.
Yeah.
He gets him, mate. He gets him down. There's these little thing called senzu beans that they can eat, and it brings them back to full health. He's like, no, you can carry on fighting him. You're not done yet. Gives the bad guy a senzu bean.
Yeah.
Lets his kid die. So literally lets his kid die several times because he could bring him back with a wish. Shit,
What
dad.
is his problem?
He's just all he's bothered about is fighting and being
Yeah.
stronger, and he wants that for his kid. Now this one,
Go on.
this one is the best worst dad on earth, because as fathers go, he is the most loving father on the face of the earth, but not a good dad. Gomez Adams. Because what a great
Put him
dad!
in the worst.
Mate, he's a great dad. But would you say I was a great dad if I was giving Bobby dynamite and getting her to blow herself up? You wouldn't.
He's just letting
Or
her,
letting her
express
play with axes.
themselves.
No. Yes, you can let them express themselves. But if Bobby went and blew up the neighbour's dog or dissected it with some fucking blades
You know what?
that it had as a present,
He's-
Gomez
he-
Adams is a terrible father.
What he's doing is he's showing love and affection for his wife, for Morticia, in front of those kids. So they're growing up knowing how to treat a woman properly.
Correct.
With respect and love.
100% know how to treat a woman, but they will also try and blow them up. Or stab them. Or torture them.
I think you're being harsh on Gomez.
No, look, he's a great dad in that aspect, but the motherfucker buys them torture apparatus as toys.
Well, they love it.
They
That's
do,
what
but
want.
that doesn't make it okay. Kids nowadays love Skibbity Toilet, Ryan.
Yeah, you're getting one for Christmas.
I'm not getting one for Christmas. They love this shit, okay, and that's not okay. And that's not as dangerous as dynamite. Nearly as dangerous. Skibbity Toilet is almost as dangerous as dynamite. If you don't know what that is, good, I'm glad for you. Because I'm
Why
so
do I
angry.
know about Skibbity?
Because I made you understand. So that's my 5. Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy, Jack Torrance, Goku, Darth Vader, and Gomez Adams, which apparently is going to be a sore subject with people. But I knew that when I wrote it.
I disagree with Gomez Adams.
You
Shocking.
can't.
Shocking.
Right, you know what? Fuck it. As soon as River's old enough, mate, I'm getting him really dangerous toys.
All right. Well, you're going to be what, Uncle Fester in this
Yeah,
scenario?
literally Uncle Fester. As soon as I lose my hair, mate, I'm not going to be far off it.
Shave your beard off as well. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I've got no neck already, so it's fine. So who you got on your worst?
See, I haven't got my worst because I was too busy coming up with my different themes, but I would agree. Jack Torrance, obviously, I said that him straight away. Who else? Let's try and think of some different ones. Lucius Malfoy, he's a bit of a dick.
He's
to,
a prick, he is, yeah.
The Draco Malfoy, it's a bit unnecessary. Tries to get him, to be a Death Eater. Tries to get him to kill Voldemort, Dumbledore, and all that. It's just, you know what? Draco's probably a good kid at heart. He just wants a loving, supportive dad. He could have been very different.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, we'll add Lucius Malfoy, who is brilliantly played by Jason Isaacs. Very underrated actor.
Love Jason Isaacs.
So good. Who else could we put in the worst?
I mean, we've got the Homers, because again...
We've got the Homers.
And,
I feel like Homer's got some redeeming qualities, though, so he's not all bad.
But they've
He's
all
not
got
like
redeeming.
What's Jack's redeeming? Jack Torrance's redeeming.
He was taken over by the spirit of the house, mate. If the spirit,
Even
if he
before
didn't
they
go
moved to that
there...
house, he broke Danny's arm by ragging him about.
Well, yeah, good point.
I'm trying to look at some of my films in front
DVDs.
of me for inspiration. Quick, ask the audience.
Quick, no, we're not live.
Oh shit!
Do you want to move to best, Ryan?
Let's go to best.
Do you want my list again?
Yes.
Again, we have mentioned 2 of these again. So we'll mention them first. Brian Mills from Taken.
Yeah.
Banging dad. Banging
Great dad.
Because that motherfucker, he has them skills. And every now and then, I had a really weird nightmare last night where someone tried to kill me. And I just wish my dad was there with a particular set of skills in that dream. Do you know what I mean? But he wasn't there, and he doesn't have them skills.
Yeah, but you know what is also a problem with Brian is that doesn't his daughter get captured 2 more times?
But yeah, but then once you've watched 24, mate, and fucking his daughter is captured every other fucking second, you can accept a couple of times with Brian Mills. Because by that point, I'm like, Keith Sutherland, just don't have anything to do with your daughter. Your life would be so much easier if you fucked your kid off.
I know. Spends half the time looking after his kid and trying to stop the terrorists. It's really inconvenient.
It's really inconvenient. Noah Levenstein, obviously American dad, great dad.
Yeah.
And again, that teenage angst of the sitting down, talking about masturbation, talking about sex, talking about shagging a pie, like these things that you watch as an adult or as a dad. Like
American Pie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like these conversations are going to be set. I mean, I've got a daughter, so I'm not going to overly be having the period conversation with her or anything like that. That's more than likely going to come from the expert. Yeah. And I'm not an expert in that field, but them sort of conversations that I think, fuck, as a child when you was watching that, as a teenager watching that, I think, fuck me, if my dad ever come to me and was like, let's talk about masturbation, I'd be like, oh god. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a great thing to do.
He's iconic as well, isn't he?
Oh god, 100%.
And what's the actor? Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy, yeah.
He's also great. I don't think he would make the top 5, but he's also great in Schitt's Creek.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's so good. That was our lockdown show, and we came up with like a drinking game to it, and it's fantastic. But he's great. He starts off because it's all about a ridiculously rich family that lose all their money, and they have to move to a town called Schitt's Creek that he previously bought as a joke.
Right.
But that's like the only thing they've got left that the family have. So they move into like a motel. And his journey's great because obviously before he was just like the rich, absent father. He's got like a son and a daughter that just do whatever they want. They're just spoiled brats.
Yeah.
But obviously now they're all together in this little motel room. And in the journey through that is great as well.
Okay.
Very reminiscent in a lot of ways of like the awkwardness. Because it's Eugene Levy, he plays it so well, that character. Like that sort of character.
Absolutely.
Well, there's loads in there about him being like accepting and like, because obviously his son David Rose is like homosexual, but that's not even like they're not even brought that up. It's not even like a conversation; it's just accepted. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Of course.
And there's loads of really good stuff about that. But yeah, definitely need to watch Schitt's Creek.
I'll give it a go. So I've got a couple of weird ones here before the number one dad, which we're both going to agree on. The next one is Cameron Poe. So Cameron Poe, if you don't know, is from Con Air.
Yeah, I do know.
So Cameron Poe is a weird one because he went into jail. Didn't he go into jail before he met his child?
Yeah,
she was pregnant.
She was pregnant, and then
he got in a bar fight.
He's in the army. He comes out to meet his missus. Gets into a bar fight, so these guys start a fight with him, and he accidentally kills someone because he's like super fucking martial art.
Get out my way, breaks his neck. The stereotypical manslaughter charge we hear of. Goes in, she gives birth, he absolutely adores his daughter, and he buys her. Isn't he about to be released?
Yeah, and he's never... sorry, I was going to put my laptop on charge.
That's okay. So he's about to be released, but he's put on to Con Air, this flight that's taking some of the scariest motherfuckers, murderers on Earth to the other side of the country. He's just hitching a flight with them to get home. He's bought this little pink bunny for his daughter that he's going to give to her when he gets out. And this is the first time she's going to meet him properly.
Yeah, obviously, he never wanted to meet his daughter to meet him in prison.
In prison, exactly. So we already know he is a good guy.
Yeah.
Like, good guy. Something bad happened. He ended up in jail for it. The murderers, rapists, they take over the plane, and then he gets hooked up in it. And the whole storyline is him trying to survive, get back to his family, and protect this bunny for his daughter.
Put the bunny back in the
box. So, granted, he can't be that much of a good dad because he's never met her, but he never wants...
It's not his fault, though. It's not his fault. Circumstances, and they made an example of him, put him in jail for like 12 years or something, and he got out. And that has got to be Nick Cage's greatest role of all time.
By
Cameron
far.
Poe is incredible. He's funny. He's just loving. He's sexy with his his
sexy.
hair and his muscles. That is iconic Nick Cage. Everyone who listens to the podcast know, we love Nick Cage. And that is peak Nick Cage. I definitely think he should be on the list.
The next one, then. This one... of its time, you'd go, what a great dad. Nowadays, bit weird.
Go on.
Does the name Daniel Hillard mean anything to you?
It doesn't.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Ah, yes.
The dude can't see his kids, so he dresses up as an old lady to become their nannies, to be a great dad for him, but dressed as a woman. Now,
Yeah.
this day and age, that would be creepy and breaking probably a few laws.
Very creepy.
But back then, it's accepted as, what a great dad.
Why can't he see them again?
I can't remember, and I don't want to just say I don't think the mum lets him, because I can't really remember. But there's something in it of, I think there's a few things that happen where he kind of fucks up. It doesn't look like he's doing too great. And she's like, you need to just take a step back.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to, because he loves his kids that much that he wants to be around them. I think she gets a new partner as well, and there's the worry that, you know, he's gonna take over the dad role, which is a big worry as someone, you know, not being with my daughter's mum. That does worry me, you know, that all of a sudden another man could come into her life that she likes more than me. I don't think it happened, but you know, it could potentially. It's a worry. So he dressed, but really, if we just strip back the weirdness of it, what a great dad. He loves his kids that much that he just needs to still impart and make them happy. And he can't, like I've mentioned in myself, I can't be there 24 hours for my daughter like he couldn't. So he wants to be there, and he wants to be there for the sad times and impart his advice and help them through the hard times. And he just does that in a bit of a weird way.
Very weird way, yeah.
Could have bought him a phone and said, ring me if you need me. But, you know, prosthetics was all the rage back then.
Exactly. Not creepy at all.
Not creepy.
One that have you got one left?
I got one left. The greatest dad of all time.
I know you're going to have.
You know,
so I just want to add one, and that's one I've mentioned earlier, but he's on my list. And that's John Matrix from Commando. So Arnie in Commando, because obviously very similar to Brian Mills. He's got the skills. He can take on everyone. He's a super strong guy. But what sets him apart? It's the opening sequence. He's the single dad. You think he's this scary, just macho man, but really he's just a big softie, playing with his daughter, having ice cream, feeding the deer. You know, doing all these lovely things, spending all that quality time out in nature. But this guy's clearly got his priorities right, because he still makes time to go to the gym because he's fucking massive. So
he's
ticking all the boxes. His daughter's very well. You know, clearly loves him. Leaves him a little heart, "I love you, daddy" thing on the fridge. Making him lunch. You know, she's growing up to be a very, very strong, independent woman, and that's all because of his dad's skills.
Oh, absolutely.
And when shit hits the fan, you know, he can kill people.
Murders.
That's what you need. You need a dad who can murder people.
I've said it once.
People.
I told you about my dream last night. All I needed was a murderous dad.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Wrong.
Right, go on then. End on the goat of dads.
The goat of dads.
We all know who this is.
We all know who this is.
We've not talked about previously, and I just know who you're going to say.
Obviously, for those of you that know, those of you that listen to this podcast, or those of you that just watch it, Bandit Healer is the greatest dad of all time ever. If you don't know, sort your fucking shit out. Bandit Healer is the father from the TV show Bluey, which is for kids, but possibly the greatest TV show to ever exist. He is the dad that every dad inspires to be.
And that's... People that don't know Bluey will think that you're joking.
Nope.
But that is 100% a serious statement. He is the greatest dad of all time, and you are totally right. If I could be a fraction of the dad he is, I will consider myself a great dad.
Exactly that, a fraction. If my daughter said, "Oh, you're so much like Bandit," I'd cry with happiness of I've made it as a father. But I'm way too lazy to be like Bandit.
Oh, I know. He puts so much time in. He invests so much. He's so caring, thoughtful, brilliant. He's just got his priorities right, hasn't he?
He really has.
He's just unbelievable. He's so heartwarming. That show is one of the great shows of all time.
It is literally one of the greatest shows of all time. For kids, for you. If you've got kids and you've never watched it, get it watched now. They'll love it. Because it's for all ages.
Me and Clay used to watch that before we had kids.
Oh, I know you did, yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful show. It genuinely brings me to tears, some of the episodes.
Oh, God, yeah. It makes you laugh. It makes you cry. We've talked about Bluey so many times on this show. But Bandit, greatest father. Chili, greatest mother.
Yeah.
Just there's nothing more to say. Bluey can be a little shit sometimes, but you know what?
Oh yeah.
They don't lose it with her. They don't. They
No.
just they talk it through, and
Turn
everyone's
it into
happy.
a learning point.
Exactly. Of course they do. They ain't chasing no one with an axe. They ain't buying. Hey, do you think Bandit is buying Bluey dynamite? No. No, he's not. Or a torture device, Ryan? No, he's not.
You don't know.
He's
We've
just
not
playing
released those episodes
He's
yet.
just playing Burger Dog on his phone and dancing with her is what he's doing.
Oh, so good.
So that's it. Did you have any other honourable mentions you want to pop in?
Nah, we're ending on the goat.
We are ending on the goat. Bandit Healer. Megan, if you wouldn't mind, we would like a poster of Bandit Healer wearing a crown of the greatest dad of all time ever. Someone we all inspire to be. Thank you, Bandit, because I have learnt as a father because of that. I
Absolutely.
have been there with little Ern, and I have weekends with her where I'm tired and I'm just exhausted and we don't do much, and I always have that dad guilt of like, oh, we're just having a chill day today, but I've not got the money to go spunking up the wall like, she wants to go spend loads of money and do shit, so we're just going to chill at home. But watching that has been like, get your fat arse up and go play with her. You've not got to, do board games, do this, do that, because there's so many times where it's like, oh, she wants to play on the Xbox, all right, cool, go do that, and that's it for 5 hours. Where it's like, no, come on, right, have an hour playing with your friends, and then you and me will go do some, I picked that up from a child's TV show, and that made me really reevaluate my own fatherhood. So, yeah, well done. Well done, Bandit. And well done, Jack Torrance, for being the worst dad.
Yeah, fair.
Cool. Is there anything else you would like to bring to the table or
No,
add
I think
for
we've
the
covered
listeners?
quite a lot there. I've enjoyed that episode.
I really enjoyed that episode as well because, again, we're fathers. We like to talk about being fathers and we like to talk about other fathers.
Yeah,
we like to point out the shit ones and praise the good ones.
And we've missed so many. I've tried not to over prep this because I want it to be just off the cuff. But so let us know. Let us know in the comments.
Oh, please do.
Maybe comments below.
Comments below.
I don't know how it works, but let us know. Best and worst dads.
Yeah.
In pop culture.
Absolutely. I'm not going to make you say anything random because you're a busy boy. You're a dad now. You haven't got time to be thinking of stuff. You've got to go be a
We've
dad.
already run over. I'm already going to get fucking my head kicked in.
So, yes, everyone, thank you for listening. As we said earlier, please follow us on everything. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe and leave us reviews as and where you can. And join the Discord because the more people in it, the more I'm going to be bothered to put stuff in it.
Yeah, fair.
Plain and simple. So, have we got anything planned for next week or we just have a nice little catch-up, do you think?
I think it'd be nice to have a little catch-up. We're not talking about what we've watched or what we've seen or where we've been for a while.
So let's have one of them next week. So, for another week, thank you for listening and peace.